Welcome back to the Fragrance Fraternity, all the wonderful people of the online fragrance world. Thank you guys for spending your time with me here today to talk about another video about fragrances. So, summer is coming, it's on its way, the heat is coming, you guys know it. If it hasn't hit you yet, it'll hit you, and it'll hit you hard, and you'll be sweating, and you'll be dragging your butt, and you'll just be wishing you had a nice cold glass of water to cool you down, or as an alternative, a really fresh fragrance can make you feel a little bit better when the sun is just beating down your back and you need something to refresh yourself in the form of a fragrance. I have 10 awesome recommendations I'm going to give you that you can wear during this summer when things really start to heat up. You can refresh a little bit with these fantastic scents. Let's get started here with our first selection. This is Abercrombie and Fitch First Instinct. If you think a watermelon type fragrance would be something that you would enjoy, this is a really great designer watermelon fragrance that works in the heat. It's got a little bit of this saltiness. If you're a fan of Millésime Imperial, Silver Mountain Water, things of that nature, you're probably going to enjoy this one as well. It is done in a similar style, although it does not smell exactly alike. I've gotten a pretty good use out of this one. It is a little bit more on the youthful leaning side, but it's made for summer. It works really well in the heat, and basically just shines and sparkles in a really beautiful way, in a somewhat unique way, and I really enjoy the way that the watermelon note comes across here. It doesn't come across too feminine or fruity like some fruit-forward fragrances can. Certainly a masculine fragrance, but very fresh and appealing at the same time. So Abercrombie and Fitch First Instinct. Next one up we have is from Ralph Lauren. This is Polo Sport Fresh. This has been my go-to for going to the gym. It's very easy to wear. It's very easy on the nose. It has an iris note, but it is very much a synthetic kind of entry-level type iris. Not super powdery, not super thick like some irises can be. It has a laundry dryer sheet type of freshness to it. Very approachable, perfect for the heat. Definitely the kind of stuff that you want to reach for when the temperatures go up, and matches my shirt today. So just can't lose with Polo Sport Fresh. It is my gym go-to, and when you're sweating and it's very hot and you're gasping for air, you can always do with a nice whiff of Polo Sport Fresh. It never hurts. Okay, next one we have is the original Coach for Men. And similar to pretty much every single fragrance in this category, when they get super fresh, performance becomes an issue. So just be aware, performance is your number one most important thing. I have another video about that. This is more so just fragrances that smell good in the heat and won't weigh you down, not necessarily that are going to perform the best, because pretty much all these that I'm talking about today, performance is not their strong suit. So be aware of that. Anyway, Coach for Men. It's got a kumquat note, which is a fruitiness that is a little bit more on the unique side. It's in some fragrances, but it's more rare to find that. I believe a little bit of a pear fruitiness here as well. It does have a blue shower gel freshness. It is a perfect daily wear type fragrance. It is kind of Coach's take on something like a Versace Dylan Blue. It's Coach's blue fragrance. It is the first one in this line that really kicked it off, and frankly, it's pretty much still the best one in the line. I would say Coach Green is a close second, but if I could only pick one to be quote unquote the best or my favorite, I think the OG Coach for Men is still gonna hold that spot. They did a really great job of bringing a blue fragrance with familiarity along with their own twist to the market with Coach for Men. Next one up we have is from the house of Lacoste, and really all of the Lacoste fragrances work really well in the heat, so there's a lot that you can go for. For the purposes of this video, this is the one that I grabbed and gravitated toward for whatever reason today. This is Lacoste El Taupe Blanc Eau Intense. So this one comes across quite a bit more woody than the regular Lacoste Blanc, if you are familiar with that fragrance. That one has more of a white floral citrus prominence. I get more of a woodiness here, and a great way that I heard this one described is going into a Jamba Juice, and just the combination of the smoothies and all, like the grass, whatever ingredients that they're using in their smoothies all blended together, and that kind of aroma in the air when you get into a Jamba Juice. And if you're familiar with other smoothie places, they kind of smell like this. So that's basically the closest thing that I can compare this to. If you think that's something that sounds appealing, this one It's a relatively new release. I believe it came out in 2023, but you can get it for a heavily discounted price now. And I enjoy the scent profile. It's going to be the least favorite in the line. I wouldn't say this is my favorite, but I do enjoy wearing it from time to time. It works really well in the heat. Lacoste Blanc Eau Intense. All right, next one up we have is from the House of Montblanc. This is Starwalker. Not Skywalker, but Starwalker. So, Starwalker is a riff on Versace Mano Fresh, if you're familiar with that fragrance. A very popular summertime fragrance, and I don't really talk about it much because I don't know, for whatever reason, that one, I know a lot of people love it, and I'm not hating on it. I just don't gravitate toward it for whatever reason. I've worn it in years past, and I'm just a little bit over it, so I have other fragrances that I like to mention, and this is certainly one of them. I would pick this one over Mano Fresh. It has a little bit more of a woodiness. It has an interesting woodiness in the form of a bamboo note, so it is a different kind of woodiness than you may be used to. It does have this kind of spa-like, calming sort of aura to it with that bamboo note. It may put you in that mindset. I believe it was made to be worn like before bed, hence the name Starwalker. Anyway, another one that works great in the heat, very easy to wear, citrusy, aromatic, woody, masculine, very fresh, Starwalker. Next one we have is from Jimmy Choo. This is Jimmy Choo Man Ice. So it is a lemonade fragrance similar to Dior Homme Cologne, if you're familiar with these lemonade type scent profiles. I do hear some complaints about the quality of this fragrance. You know, some people come off and they tell me it kind of smells cheap and synthetic, and yeah, I get that. So if you're a little bit further along in your fragrance journey and you maybe have some fresher lemonade type scents out there, maybe you can skip this one. And there are some others that I would recommend over this one. I am saving a special one that I'm going to be featuring in a collaboration next week, so I'm intentionally not mentioning it. But from the lowest entry level type pricing that you can find these style fragrances, this one is solid for what it is. Always great atomizers too on these Jimmy Choo fragrances, like crazy good dispersion. And I got a lot of enjoyment out of this one, and I got a lot of good use out of it. When you have the financial funds to upgrade to something like a Chanel Allure Homme Sport Cologne or a Dior Homme Cologne or even an Aventus Cologne, yeah, all of those are going to be higher quality options. But for those just starting out, or perhaps you just want to see if the scent profile is something that may interest you, Jimmy Choo Man Ice is really not a bad way to go. It doesn't smell super cheap to my nose. Just making you aware in case you are a little bit more sensitive to quality in your fragrances. I've heard some complaints. So Jimmy Choo Man Ice. Next one up we have is last year's CK1 Summer Flanker. They come out with one every year. I'm interested to see what they come out with this year. But this is CK1 Reflections, and I really enjoyed this one last year. I got a decent amount of use out of it, and it's still one that from time to time, when I just want something easy to wear that doesn't last a super long time, just a quick refresh, still reach for this one. It's got a nice fruitiness to it. It has what I like to compare it to. There's a certain like citrus flavor of Trident gum that really reminds me of the way that this smells. Not exactly sure what the name of that flavor is, but I believe it's like the orange citrusy version of Trident gum. Smells basically identical to CK1 Reflection. So if you are looking for something that has a bit of that like gum fruitiness to it, a bit of that bubblegum sweetness, and something kind of just fun, easy, something casual that'll last a couple hours that you don't really have to spend a lot of money on, with a nice frosted glass, CK1 Reflection is solid. It's only like 20 bucks. So pretty cheap. All right, next one up we have is Tommy Bahama St. Kitts. Fruity and woody and ozonic and sparkly are basically the words that you can use to describe this fragrance. Now, manage your expectations. Understand that this is an eau de cologne concentration. You may have a hard time picking it up the same that you would an eau de parfum or even an eau de toilette. Okay, it's going to be a lot brighter, it's going to be a lot fresher, and it's not going to be as prominent, but just know that going in. It does project quite well. It doesn't last a super long time, but again, you get 100 ml for $20 or under. And some people are going to prefer this to St. Bart's. Personally, I prefer St. Bart's, but I've talked about that one a lot. I think it's time to shed some light on St. Kitts. Fruity, woody, but masculine. solid scent, smells good, doesn't last a long time, but works perfectly in this category. It's something that you can certainly rock with confidence on a very hot day. It's going to get the job done for you. You're going to smell nice, at least for a few hours, probably longer if you spray it on your clothes. Saint Kitts from Tommy Bahama. All right, 2 more. Here we go. This is True Religion Drifter. I feel like my descriptions of these fragrances are all pretty similar because I picked a lot of fruity fragrances for whatever reason. True Religion Drifter is highly slept on, highly underrated, and I think it is awesome. I think more people need to be getting their nose on it and trying it out. It is one of my favorite cheap fragrances, and it is highly slept on. So if you're familiar with Mancera Sicily, that is kind of like a niche take on this. Mancera Sicily does go a little bit more unisex, but basically it's like a big bowl of fruit, which is similar to what you get here at a fraction of the cost. You do get a little bit more woodiness with Drifter, which I enjoy because it gives it a little bit more of a masculine tone. This is marketed as a fragrance for men, whereas Sicily is marketed as unisex, and it is very much unisex, where this is very much a masculine scent, even though it has a fruity scent profile, which is kind of difficult to pull off. I have to give them credit here. When I first got this one in, I wasn't getting very much performance out of it, but it has matured over time, and the performance is actually in a good 5-6 hour range now after it's been sitting for at least a year or so. So if you see this one out at the rack store and you enjoy a nice fruity fragrance with a little bit of woodiness in there, pick this one up. If you are deciding between this and Saint Kitts, since they are quite similar, I would recommend you go with Drifter if you have the chance. I really enjoy this. This goes in probably my top 10 of all my cheapies. Especially lately, I've just been going back to this one time and time again. So True Religion Drifter, very solid choice for an incredibly hot day. Last one today, I am running through these. This is Ed Hardy's Love and Luck. And fortunately, my bottle did kind of break here, but anyway. The cap comes off like this. You know, it's not the most luxury looking product out there, right? But it is a little bit of like this 90s, early 2000s throwback vibe and throwback packaging that they've gone with here. Ed Hardy was really big in the early 2000s and it kind of died, but you guys probably still at least know what Ed Hardy used to be, big designer. This smells similar to Millesime Imperial, but a little bit fruitier, a little bit fresher, and much less expensive, obviously. It's signature scent worthy type stuff. It really is. You could wear this every single day. It has a very appealing, playful type of scent profile to it. Not one that you're going to want to take yourself too seriously wearing. Stuff that definitely leans more casual. Possibly don't want to be wearing this with a suit and tie. But if you're just going to wear a white t-shirt like you would in the summer on a hot day, this is a fragrance that pairs excellent with it. So those are the 10 that I wanted to bring to you today just for the hottest of hottest days. This is the topic that came to my mind today. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching at the Fragrance Fraternity. Don't sweat it. Life is short. Just spray, enjoy, and enjoy life. That's all I can say for today. Thank you for your time. See you next time at the Fragrance Fraternity. Hit that like and subscribe if you haven't yet. I appreciate it. Take care. Have a great rest of your weekend. Later.